Chapter 6.2 Basic Percent Problems. When we look at percent problems, we're basically looking at three types. The three types are generally in some form of what number is some type of percent, like 15% of a whole amount, which is, for this example, 63. So what number is 15% of 63? Another type of problem that we'll see is what percent of a whole is the part. So what percent of 42 is 12? And the third type of problem we'll see is a number like 25 is a percentage of what number? So 25 is 40% of what number? So let's run through a couple of examples of each type. So when we're solving percent problems, we do want to figure out the language that's being used. So in English, is stands for the equal sign. Of is our multiplication. And number is, we're just going to call it n for now. What number is also n, as well as what percent. Those are usually our unknowns. So a number will be an unknown, and what number is an unknown, and well as what percent. So let's think about this. What number is 15% of 63? Well, using what I know up here in the table, what number will be n? Is an equal. 15%, we do need to write it as a decimal, so 0.15. Of is multiplication, and 63 is just a number. So ultimately, it's going to be n equals 0.15 times 63. All we need to do is do that multiplication, and we find that n is 9.45. The answer, what number is 15% of 63? 15% of 63 is 9.45. Or, if we want to word it exactly like what our question is asking, it would be 9.45 is 15% of 63. Let's try the second type of problem. What percent of 42 is 21? So again, what percent is going to be our n? Of is multiplication. 42 is just a number. Is translates to an equal sign. And 21 is just a number. So when we put it all together, n times 42 equals 21. Now we're going to divide both sides by 42, and we get 1/2. But remember, we're looking for a percent, so we do need to write it as a percent. 1/2 in decimal format is 0.5, and 0.5 is 50%. Therefore, 50% of 42 is 21. Let's try the third type of problem. 25 is 40% of what number? So 25 is just a number. Is means equal. 40%, we do need to write it as a decimal, 0.40. Of is multiplication. And what number is our unknown? So we're going to use n. Put it all together. We have 25 equals 0.40n. Divide each side by 0.40 or 0.4. And our solution is 62.5 is n. So when you think about it, there's our division. 25 is 40% of 62.5. So that's all three types of problems worked out. So how would we use this information to actually apply it to the real world around us? Well, take a simple example of vanilla ice cream. And on the back of vanilla ice cream, you'll see the nutritional aspects of vanilla ice cream. So it will give you the calories per serving, the calories from fat per serving, maybe the sugars, all of that good stuff. And so let's say we want to know what percent of the calories are from fat. To put it in the words like our problem, we know that 90 calories are from the fat. So 90 calories from fat is what percent, which is n, of 150, which are the total calories. So breaking that down, it's going to be 90 equals what percent n times 150. Divide each side by 150. N will equal 0.6, but again, we want to know what percent it is, so we do need to write it as a percent. So either multiply by 100 or move the decimal to the right 2 and put our percent symbol there. So it's going to be 60%. We can also solve percent problems using a setup of proportions. So it's going to be the percent is to 100 as the amount is to whatever base we have, or our whole amount, if you think of it that way. So the percent is to 100 as amount is to base. I'm going to run through the same 3 problems, but this time setting them up as a proportion. What number is 15% of 63? 63 is our base, 15 is our percent, so we'll set it up as 15 is to 100 as n is to 63. Therefore, 15 over 100 equals n over 63, and with proportions we're going to cross multiply and then solve for n. So as we do that, 15 times 63 equals 100n, 945 equals 100n, divide both sides by 100, and our result is still 9.45. Let's try example number 2. What percent of 42 is 21? So n is to 100 as 21 is to 42. So setting up in a fraction and proportion, and then we're going to multiply, cross multiply. 42 times n equals 21 times 100. Divide by 42 for both sides, and n equals 50. But note, since n is a percent, all we need to do is add the percent symbol. So 50% is our solution. Not just 50, but 50%. And our third example, 25 is 40% of what number? So 40 is the percent. So 40 is to 100 as 25 is to what? N. So we set up a proportion. 40 over 100 is 25 over n. Cross multiply and then divide by 40. That would give us 62.5. So whether you like just solving it as a percentage or solving it as a proportion, that's up to you. That's it for this lecture, so until next time, be seeing you.